All right. So the first thing that we mentioned was the Coca Cola logo, the hug logo is what they're calling it. Or I guess it's supposed to represent the curvature of a bottle or the traditional containers that you consume Coca Cola through. They've done something pretty creative with it and made it look or used it as sort of a representation of hugging. Let me share that for everyone who's watching the video. So this is what we see here. There's a few examples of hugging of Coca-Cola bottles sort of clinking, and they've also got the new marketing phrase, which is real magic, and some creative sort of applications of this. My initial feedback or my initial feeling about this is it's quite smart, especially for a brand like Coca Cola. I think it's something that only more established brands can really get away with because you already know what the Coca Cola logo looks like. If you are trying to get your logo out there and get people to recognize your logo, this might not be the best approach. But with an organization like Coca Cola, maybe even McDonald's, potentially even Facebook, this is definitely something that you could attempt. What do you think, Kelsey?
Yeah, I really like it. A brand like Coca Cola, I think the biggest asset that they've had for years and years and years is that iconic Coke bottle. And I'm sure at some point I've heard that they'd sort of trademarked the shape of the bottle and things like that. So to then translate that into the logo, and they've done it really in a really smart way in that the edges of the Coke, the word, the way that they're actually curved, it's not just a plain old sort of curve. It actually does follow that shape of where it would sit on the bottle. So it's not sort of a uniform curve, which I think is really awesome because you can sort of visualize, you're so familiar with that shape. It really just sits there really nicely. Unsure on the real magic tagline. I'm not really sure what it means to me. Maybe I'd need to see a, ad campaign or something beyond just the tagline to understand it and put it in context. But I'm sure that they'll find a good way to explore that.
Well, I'm sort of cracking a bit of a smile because their chief marketing officer has said that real magic is not just a tagline, that it is a philosophy, um, which I mean, the intentions around it is to increase the Coca Cola consumer base through an ecosystem of experiences anchored in consumption occasions such as meals and breaks and merged with consumer passions like music and gaming. So I think what they're trying to say with real magic is the the magic of the moment sort of terminology and sort of sharing that experience with real people. I think in the COVID lockdown age, that sort of, I mean, hugs are such a I don't know, crucial thing nowadays. I think it's very it's hugs sort of a simple thing, or at least has been a simple thing. But nowadays, you can't really hug just anyone. I mean, if you can hug at all, um,
Yeah.
so maybe it's a bit of good timing on their part, or maybe this real magic is supposed to sort of talk about the magic of the moments and the fact that you can share magical moments with loved ones, with family, with the people you want to hug. There's a
Mhm.
nice, I don't know, there's a nice positive message there as well. Like there's a couple in this shot with a Coca-Cola bottle in the back pocket. I don't know. I've never done this with a glass Coca-Cola bottle. I don't know about you,
No.
Kelsey.
I mean, women's pockets wouldn't fit it anyway, to be fair,
It is a
but that's
back
a
pocket
different
though, so I
conversation.
haven't I haven't heard any comments about women's back pockets being too small.
Yeah, fair.
Um,
No, I do like the hug concept. It's
maybe
funny because I
this
feel like a lot of brands kind of shy away from talking about like hugs and contact and stuff because of COVID, but it's nice that Coke's leaned into it in a different way without really making it like, oh, we shouldn't be doing that. It's COVID times. I think they've done that quite well.
they've also not made a big deal about, like, it's not a overt hugging representation or symbolism. I think they've done it in a somewhat subtle way. To me, what we're looking at the screen here, and for those listening to the podcast, is essentially laughter at what looks like a kid's birthday party. It's very colorful. There's balloons, there's smiles, and a Coca-Cola bottle, of course, in the shot. But to me, this is sort of what that real magic, trademarked term really aims to represent. It's these magical moments. I think as someone who, I mean, I don't have kids, but looking at this, it looks magical to me. It looks like the kind of thing that, parents talk about, when they sort of mention the memories that they'll sort of always remember and always look back at fondly. And I think that's what they're trying to represent in this.